We're going to give a special shalom to the family online. The water for the family coming in. How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good? Anybody recover from the new year? Happy Brew Year to y'all again. Y'all still recovering? Everybody good? Okay, con. We got a couple of our family members out today, so we're going to send them up and pray for them. Shalom to the family online that's already been in here. We got Brother Brian Thomas. Shalom to you, King. We got the sister Jasmine. She in here. Shalom to you. Isabella. Shalom to you and your family. Tell your husband I said what's up. It's my boy. Beats and Swag was good, King. Saint Ra'ab, the hungry, thirsty lion. What's up, man? Hope all is well with you, King. Emmanuel, what's up? Love that brother, man. Good brother. Jay Sneaks, always in the building. Mama Milka, yes, sir. Most High in Christ bless, Mama. We got the 12 gates of Israel. Okay, con. Yeah, they coming in now, man. They flooding it too much now. So look, today, we're going to talk about the proper way to marry a daughter of Zion. All right. So when y'all think of marriage, who got the mic? Matter of fact, I'm going to pick on y'all. We're going to get the young sisters. Where Daniela at? And Dayana, we're going to pick on y'all. I'm going to pick on y'all today. Y'all get ready. I hope y'all ready. Yes, sir. I'm coming for y'all. Daniela, you ready? Don't try to put your head down. What is marriage? You see her put her head down? He's like, nah, he ain't talking about me. What's up? What's marriage? From your understanding. What is a marriage? Shalom to the family online. Thank you. Thank you for tapping in.
Marriage is the union of a man and a woman.
Beautiful.
Under the laws.
Under the laws of God. Okay, cool. Add to that, Dayan.
From what I know, it's a covenant between a man and his woman.
She used the covenant. Damn, this is big words. Huh? I don't know what that means. What's a covenant? She said a covenant, man. She got the scholarship on us one time, man.
I know what it means, but I can't think.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
Contract, agreement. Beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, so look, I'm gonna give my little recommendation. So I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it very simple because there's so many different aspects of marriage, which I'm not gonna cover today. I'm gonna just talk about the steps, the proper steps on how to give your daughter or your son away. All right, we're gonna just go into that. Here's my recommendation. All right, women, y'all should marry young. Y'all should focus on marrying young. All right, men, y'all should kind of build y'all value first, and then worry about marriage later. I'll say like in your later 20s. Early 30s. You know what I'm saying? Just my recommendation. I would advise men to kind of wait on your value because you have to provide. And sisters, I would say you marry early because there's a biological clock on having kids. So you don't want to forego marriage like America teaches us and then run the risk of having complications in your marriage later on and you're not able to have babies. So that's my recommendation, and reason being, like I said, just from my life experiences and things that I've seen, and just the data that we have accessible to us in Babylon, I would suggest that men kind of build a value. You have to kind of build yourself up because you're not going to be 18 out the gate with a career. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to build your career. And you can have something that's kind of stable, so you can be an asset to your community. And for the women, you guys, how it should work is you kind of build up your father's kingdom and what he's about, or your community. If your father's absent, and then from there, you kind of build up the community, and then it kind of transfer to your husband's kingdom. That's how it should work. So. Let's go ahead and prove that through scripture. Give me 1 Timothy 5:14. All praises. I got the stamp of approval from Mama Milk. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise. 1 Timothy 5:14.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14. I would therefore that the younger woman marry.
What?
That the younger woman marry.
That's God. All right. I'm gonna tell y'all, my doctrine is not my own. Everything I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be able to back it up with scripture. Okay. The Lord said, young women, what?
I will therefore that the younger woman marry.
Because, like I said, you guys have a biological clock that's kind of urging you in your anatomy that you should probably get married young. How young? We're gonna go into scripture. Scriptures don't necessarily say an age, but when we rightly divide the word, 20 is a good number. You know what I'm saying? 20 is a good number for women where you can start getting married. 19, you should start getting ready. 20, 21, you should be kind of focusing on leaving your dad house to your king. All right? Read.
I will therefore let the younger woman marry, bear children.
What?
Bear
You
children.
can't have children if you're not married, right? Well, a lot of our people are doing that, unfortunately. And you see the end result of that, right? You know, we having irresponsible sex. And you see the end result of that, right? Single parent households at an alarming rate, right? In my projects, 95% did the numbers, at least in my generation. I'm not sure about the generation before me. Did a video on Facebook. I spent the whole hood, the whole block. 95% of us at some point in life grew up in a single parent household, whether it was from the beginning or like when we were 11 and the parents divorced. You know, we did not grow up together. Like this beautiful family, you know, Tons of War family. Clap it up for them, man. They keeping it together. They still love each other. Beautiful, man. They still in love. What is it, 22 years? 25? All praise to the Most High. That's a beautiful thing, man. We need more of those examples, man, because in my project, I can't find it. I'm going to keep it up. Am I lying, sir? Nah, okay. All right. So, Lord said, younger women marry young, right? Bear babies, read. Guide the house.
Mm-hmm. Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Absolutely, because if you're doing these things, then you don't have the enemy doesn't have any ammunition on our daughters because he's trying to take our daughters out. We went out there on the streets today. It was sad, man, seeing our daughters in Zion. Beautiful. Lost. Like without a clue. Just strung out. Looked like she was popping pills all night. Sad, man. You know, that's just the reality of the situation, right? All right, drop that. So for men, now let me go ahead and back up my recommendation for men. Why I say men should kind of focus on building value and establishing some type of career before they try to take that leap of faith and get married. Give me Sirach 29 and 21.
29.
Come. So Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 29, verse 21. Shalom to the families tapping in. All praises. Appreciate you guys. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame.
So these are the biggest basic essentials that men have to provide to call yourself a man. So if you're not at that point yet, that's okay. You have to figure out a way to get to that. That's why I feel like men will earn a value a little later. Jacob, don't you feel like a better person at 25 than 20? Absolutely, right? Exactly. As men, right? The thing with men, we kind of grow, we earn our value a little later. You know what I mean? As the brother Rothstein was bringing out the other day, you actually become your full, I ain't gonna say fullest self, but you become at your peak in your prime. I'll say around like 27 to 35. 27, 35, that's when you kind of hit your peak and you start figuring it out. You're not as dumb as you used to be. You're getting your credit score right. You're not making irresponsible decisions financially anymore. You're kind of thinking, you know what, I can hold off on the Benz. I'm cool. I don't gotta buy no rims. You know, I'm good. I'll just buy it. You know, stock. You know, basic model. You know, I don't gotta get it souped up. You know, then maybe I can put this little money aside and plan for the future. Like these are things that you do a little better when you're like 27 as opposed to 21. 21, you're trying to everybody see. I know when I was 21, I got me a big chat. I want to get the rims, bro, for sure. Forgiatos. And I need them custom made with the lip painting. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stupid, dumb investment. No value whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Soon I drove off the lot with those wheels, those rims depreciated. Probably half the value. Couldn't even resell it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you add modifications to it, it loses the value. So the Lord said, though, read that again, though, because the Lord said, look, this you got to be able to provide these essentials as a man, though. Read that again.
The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing, and a house to cover shame.
So you got to be able to have those things. You know what I'm saying? Water, clothes, bread, and a house to be able to cover your shame. You know what I mean? Get the door. Somebody there. Somebody there. Drop that. Give me Sirach. You know what? Wisdom of Solomon 6:25. Wisdom of Solomon 6:25. All praises. Give me Wisdom of Solomon in your Apocryphas chapter 6, verse 25.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 25. Receive therefore instruction through my words.
Through my what?
Through my words.
Well, see, the Bible is a book of instructions, right? So notice, like, Iram is speaking, but it's really the Lord speaking through me. So if you got the ears and understanding of that, just kind of get a bar that the Most High is speaking through me and Law right now, and he's saying, hear my instructions, not theirs, through my word. So I'm going to piece it together for y'all, but this is the word of Yahweh, all right? And who's the word? Yahweh Shai, all right? So I'm going to give y'all the food that y'all need. I want y'all to take these notes, especially brothers and sisters that's not married. That's kind of at that age, right? Go ahead and take it down. Brothers and sisters that got, sons and daughters, go ahead and take this down. It's a very important lesson for y'all, all right? Finish that. Read that again all the way through.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 25. Receive therefore instruction through my words.
Through my words. So these are the instructions. I'm going to give y'all those, right? John 7:16 real quick. So I'm setting the precedence and the tone of the lesson, then we're going to jump into it. We're going to keep it real simple. Real basic, elementary simple for y'all today, all right? The book of John, St. John in the Gospels, chapter 7, verse 16.
The book of John, chapter 7, verse 16. Yahweh Shai answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me.
See, my doctrine is not mine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wake up yesterday and was like, hey, this is I'm just gonna come up with this lesson, and this is what it is. This is my doctrine is not mine. Everything I'm gonna say is gonna be backed by scripture. Okay, drop that. Give me Sirach 6:23. Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 23. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 23. Give ear, my son. Receive my advice and refuse not my counsel.
So the Lord said, give ear, my sons and daughters. What that mean? Listen up and receive my, what did it say, counsel? Counsel, right? So Diana, you got the mic still? What's another word for counsel? Advice, right? So when you go to school, you talk to your counselor, they're supposed to give you what? Exactly, right? So the Lord is saying, look, I'm about to give you advice. And my advice is in these instructions, right? This book is the manual that the Heavenly Father set out, and he's going to show you what to do and what not to do, essentially, right? You know when you get like furniture, right? You get the furniture, it comes with instructions, right? Sometimes we ignore the instructions, but, it could be a headache. You might assemble it wrong, put a screw in somewhere it wasn't supposed to go. You might break an arm. You didn't have to send it back, right? But the Lord, look, man, just go ahead and read the instructions, right? So you can do it right the first time. Why bump your head? It's not necessary, right? We got a perfect manual, so we're going to stick to it. All right. One more. Give me Proverbs 11 and 14. Proverbs 11 and 14. Two more, actually. Then we'll go into it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
So where no advice is, and what is the advice based on? Thus said the Lord, right? So where there's no advice given, right, based on the scriptures, what did the Lord say?
The people fall.
Did we not see our people fall and fail today when we went out today? It was sad. All I could do was shake my head, right? Where there's no God being, like the real true doctrine of God being spreaded, the people are destroyed. We witnessed that. I witnessed today, right? Read.
Where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
So when you have a multitude, what does the word multitude mean? Anybody? All right? A great amount. So when you have a great amount of counselors, which is advisors, when you have an advisory board, right, that's based on the scriptures and based on the wisdom and the knowledge of the Most High God, everybody's safe. Why is it safety? Because look, you ain't got to worry about nobody trying to commit adultery. Look at your wife. You ain't got to worry about no pedophilia. You ain't got to worry about no thieves. You don't got to worry about no jealousy. You don't got to worry about none of that. Right? Because what? Read it again.
Salah.
From the top all the way. 11 and 14.
There it is. Where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
It's peace. When you have counselors that's all focused on the scriptures, it's peace among the body. It's peace among the flock. You can raise your children in this environment because everybody is going to give advice, everybody's going to give counsel, and everybody's going to give instructions based on the scriptures and not their opinions. And as a result of that, you have safety and peace among your people. All right. Give me that one in Sirach 32. Is it Sirach 32? Yeah, Sirach 32. Read verse 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
You ever talk to somebody that just gotta find an excuse for why they do wicked things? Isn't it like sickening just to listen to them? You can cut them up and show them like, bro, you're not supposed to be doing that, brother. Well, I'm the exception to the rule. I'm the exception. Like, oh man, this dude he's never gonna change. He's gonna always move the goalposts and find a way to be wicked, right? That's a sinful man, bro. But watch this. Point 18 is the point.
A man of counsel will be considerate.
But a man that's receiving counsel is considerate because he knows how to lower himself. He don't have pride. He can listen to somebody that's older to him. He can listen to somebody that's younger than him. And like, all right, I can receive advice from anybody, right? A man of counsel is going to be a considerate person. Watch this.
But a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when of himself he have done without counsel.
Yeah, a strange and wild man, he not listening to no counsel. I got it figured out. I'm good. What y'all niggas gonna tell me? By the time you young. All right, Ram, you just a loudmouth. Y'all can't tell me nothing. He gonna always figure out a way to wiggle out of the counsel, right? Can't nobody tell me that. I got it figured out already. Matter of fact, I got more money than y'all niggas. What y'all gonna tell me? Y'all ever heard somebody talk like that? I got more money than you, bro. What you talking about? How you gonna tell me something, bro? Get your money up. First of all, for you to talk to me, get your dollars up. How about that? That's our people, Israel, right? It's like, all right, brother. All right, man. When you foolish like that, all right, man. Go ahead, bump your head, King. Read verse 19. This is the point.
Verse 19. Do nothing without advice. And when thou hast once done, repent not.
Y'all heard that? The Lord says, do nothing without counsel. Especially something big as a marriage. Did y'all catch that? The Lord said, do nothing without counsel. Nothing. Right? And he said, when you've done this, continue to do this. Don't change. Always let this be the process. So some of the biggest things you're going to have and do in your life. The biggest thing you're going to have in your life is kids. One of the biggest purchases you're going to have in your life is your home, a car, and who you marry. Every single one of those facets, you need to get some counsel and advice. Where you're going to raise your children, what schools you're going to have your kids go to. Very important. Who you're going to mate with, right? And decide to come together in a bond and in unity in the covenant, as the sister said earlier. That's very important. You don't want to do that without counsel. I wouldn't advise you to do that because we see the result of that. When people avoid the counsel, look outside. We don't got to go far. Look outside when people go against the counsel of the Lord. All we got to do is look outside, look to the left and right, and then we see the result, right? So the Lord says, do nothing without advice, especially something as serious as a marriage. Do you know how many emails me and Ratazan get about sister or brother going out of order in marriage, right? Did not decide to take the counsel, put themselves in a precarious situation, a very life-threatening or dangerous situation, and now they want to receive the counsel when they didn't want to do it the right way the first time. The problem's already done at this point. I mean, we still a counsel, but it's nothing we can do in terms of the decision that you decide to make without coming to the body or coming to the counselors and getting advice. And if we don't know it, we got elders. And if they don't know it, they got elders. We're going to figure it out. But nevertheless, people like to circumvent the counsel and then get in a situation and now they want to get the counsel. That's backwards. Why would you do that? That don't make sense. That's out of order. Right? What happens, mama, when you go to, Noel, I'm talking to you. When you go to what's it called? The laundromat, and it says out of order. What does that mean? It don't work, right? It doesn't work. That's what the Lord is talking about to us. When we out of order, does it work? We look at the result. Just look at our community. Out of order, it does not work. Single parent households, gang banging, violence, drug abuse, drug dealing. The list goes on and on. Drunkenness, brothers on the corner, drunk as hell, drunk out their mind, been drinking all day since we was here on the New Year's. They still got a can in their hand. You see what I'm saying? Out of orderness, right? So the Lord said, look, man, make sure you do nothing without advice. You got to make sure you're in order. All right. So the first step, okay, write this down. Step 1. You got to marry among your nation, right? This is the first step. Marry among your nation. When you don't, sisters, when you marry outside your nation, that means you marry a non-Israelite, you just destroyed your progeny. Your seed line is finished. You an Israelite, but your kids are not. You know what you just did to your kids? You destroyed them. And a man, on the flip side, if a man decides to marry a heathen woman, right, the kids are still an Israelite, but you destroyed the potency of your seed. You diluted the potency of your seed when you do that. Don't believe me. Watch this. Give me Ecclesiastes 26:19. Watch this. So you want to stay among your nation. That's the first rule. 26:19. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers.
So the Lord said, don't give another word for strangers is heathens. The Lord said, don't give your strength to heathens, right? Read.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
So the Lord is using, kind of speaking allegorically or metaphorically. He said, when you got a fruitful possession among the field, right? The field is the world. Talking, the Lord, he's poetic, right? For those that like poetry and rap lyrics, y'all can get accustomed to this and break it down, right? The Lord said, when you got a fruitful possession, man, right? The world is the field. Make sure you sow your seed. Where's your seed? Where's the man's seed? In the semen, right? Make sure you sow it with good soil, trusting in your stock, the goodness of your stock, because your stock and your descent is powerful in that. If you got ears and understanding, I know America taught us something else, but the scriptures say otherwise. It says you make sure you stay among your stock, right? Now, look, here's the cool thing about the Most High, right? They say the Most High God is not racist. He's not. What my boy Kalab said the other day, he had me laughing. When the white woman we was dealing with, she was like, "Yeah, because my people was prejudiced." He said, "You know who else prejudiced?" Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I be dying with that, right? Watch this though, because the Most High God is prejudiced. Watch this. Read the next verse.
Verse 21. So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
Oh, no, race is not in the scriptures.
So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
The Lord said, so your race can be magnified, not their race. So your race can be magnified. That's what the Lord said. Now, America teaches a whole different philosophy, but they don't do that. They teach y'all that madness. You guarantee the higher up white men, they'll deny their daughters if they bring on a black man. Getting cut off. Hey, trust funds finished, bro. Bank accounts. Hey, we liquidating your bank accounts. You're finished. You're disowned. Let a Rothschild bring home a Negro. It's over. But they'll sell it to us, right? They'll promote interracial marriages. They'll promote this whole ideology. We should come together, one nation under God, indivisible. All this madness, right? But they don't teach. They do not practice this. They teach this to us. Go ahead, King. Go ahead. Give him the mic. Who got the mic?
Oh,
Yeah, you good. Go ahead, Art.
What's the queen's son? Remember he married the
Oh,
chick she
yeah,
had?
yeah, yeah.
Who?
You see over here now, he's not even in this country.
Oh, yeah, your boy. Yeah. They don't play that. You don't want to dilute the royal seed line, right? That's what the Lord is telling us, right? Why would you dilute? First of all, we're greater. We're the greatest nation to walk the earth. Why would you subjugate yourself to less than? That makes sense. But we do this all the time, right? There's purity in your blood, but when you intermingle it with somebody else, you are diluting the purity of your stock. That's why he said, trust in the good. Read verse 20 again to 21. I ain't gonna cut you off.
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having a confidence of their good descent.
Having the confidence of your good descent. That's why the Lord said, stay among your people, right? Stay among your people. Yes, the Most High God is racist and prejudiced, whatever word you want to use. He's partiality. He chose the people. We happen to be those people. All praise to the Most High. Get the Most High hand clap. He chose us. You know what I'm saying? He chose us, so we got to stick to it, right? Give me Nehemiah. Drop that. Give me Nehemiah 13 and 23. So the first step is you got to, marry among your nation. Nehemiah in the Old Testament, chapter 13, verse 23. So we're gonna keep it simple. Give y'all these basic steps. And if y'all got questions at the end, well, I'll open it up for Q&A. Pertaining to the subject, 13 and 23.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab.
So you got the Israelites marrying outside their race. Watch this.
And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language,
They know Hebrew, read.
but according to the language of each people.
They had the heathen customs. You already set your kids up at a disadvantage when you go do this, right? Now let's see what Nehemiah said.
And I contended
What
with
did he
them.
do?
And I
This is
contended
the
with
priest of
them.
the Lord, y'all. Right? I love how Christians want to, go into the Christian book, but they conveniently skip over these scriptures. Nehemiah talking about, I'm contending with y'all, the nobles of Israel. Why the hell are you mixing your glorious seed with these less thans? This is what the priest of the Lord said, Nehemiah, right? Read.
And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, you shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
Do not marry these heathen nations. Stay among your race. Y'all see that? He was so serious. He was like, I beat my people up. I slapped them up, plucked their hairs out. I disrespected them and kicked them out and told them don't do it no more. Nehemiah had to be like, my Kazakh size or something. He sound like he sound like somebody that just nobody wanted to mess with, right? He was just bullying dudes, right? Watch this though.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, among many nations where there's no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish woman cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God and marrying strange wives?
Strange what?
Strange wives?
So the Lord is saying right here through Nehemiah, like, why would we go against the scriptures and marry women of other nations when we got the most beautiful, glorious nation and women in the world? Why would you go outside of that? It don't even make sense, right? It don't even make sense. This is what the brother is trying to tell the children of Israel, because we just coming out of captivity. If y'all don't know, for those that don't know, we'll cover this in the soldier class. But for those that don't know, Nehemiah is coming out of the Babylonian captivity. So Babylon, we were in Babylon for 70 years, so we learned the ways of Babylon. And Babylon is pretty much all inclusive, the same way Babylon the Great proclaims, right? That word goes into Babel, goes into confusion. It's confusing when you got two parents on two different sides. Like, what side am I? Am I black or I'm Chinese? Who do I identify with? I don't want to disrespect my mother's customs and heritage, but I don't want to disrespect my father's heritage either. Confusing your kids. Why would you do that? That don't even make sense, right? Now the kid is is confounded and don't know the way to go because he don't want to disrespect our true side on his parents. That's what the Lord said to negate that. Stay among your people. Don't go outside your race. That's the dumbest thing you can do, right? Because the other nations are not going to be joint heirs with you. This is only for the children of Israel. Drop that. Give me Tobit 4 and 12. Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. So first step, marry among your nation. And if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, you know what I mean? Even though we're in ignorance, the scriptures say marry among your tribe. So you don't lose your land inheritance, right? Which is a whole nother set of can of worms I'm not going to get into. But if you want to get down to the real nitty gritty, the Lord says stay among your tribe, right? Read.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife.
So this, you're going to hear this consistency throughout the scriptures. Do not marry a heathen. Stay among your people. Because marriage is much more than love. You're building a conglomerate. As the sister said earlier, both of the young sisters, they said, there's a contract. When there's a contract involved, what's that? That's business, right? Daniela said what? I think she said a bond, a union, right? So if I'm coming together, I'm trying to bring my assets to the table. Your father and you bring your assets to the table, and we coming together and we figuring this out. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna be a more dominant family, right? That's what it's supposed to be about. That's why in the Middle East, where we're from, there's a lot of arranged marriages, which I'm going to cover, that's going on over there, because it was about building, not about love. Love is a part of it, but that wasn't the first all be all as we do in America. I like him. Oh, he makes my eyes tingle. It wasn't none of that. It's about building. Can he provide? Can he hold you down for the rest of your life? Because you can't go back to daddy's house when you lay down. It's over with at that point. That's why we got to make sure we get this right. I'm going to get into it. Right? Our forefathers were scared shitless, excuse my language, when it came to marrying their daughter, because it was like, I got to get this right. I got to get this right, baby, because you can't come back to my house once I give you off to this man. Right? So we're going to go into it. That's it on that.
No.
Keep going.
Take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
You heard that? All of them did. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, his sons, they all married women of their progeny, of their nation. Right? Let's prove that. Let's get Jacob. Get Genesis 28 and 1. So we're on the first step. We're going to stay among our nation. Genesis 28, 1 through 3.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Panaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters.
Stay among your race. You see that? I don't know if y'all understand this history. Isaac is in the land of Canaan, which is the land of Israel. He's telling his son, the next up-and-coming heir, who's going to be the prince and the king in his position, he's like, look, don't marry these women that live around here. Go back to the home where we grew up at and marry one of those sisters. Matter of fact, marry the sister from the house of Bethuel. Go over there, marry her. Marry one of them daughters over there. Laban. He got hella daughters. Marry one of them. That's what he told him. He gave instructions to his son. You know what I'm saying? He gave instructions to his son. He said, don't marry these women around here. Right? Watch this.
And take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Absolutely. Right. So you stay among your progeny, stay around among your race. Drop that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. Brother beat me to the punch. Yeah, I was going there, brother. Yeah, I see you. That boy quick on that precept, huh? Brother right here. Yeah, man, bring out that Deuteronomy, man. The Israelite Christian Church. Shalom, King. Bring that out.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
You see, that's the word the sister Diana used earlier, right? No contracts with these devils. That's what God said. Don't do business with them. Don't come together. Don't do nothing with them. I told you to destroy them, actually. That's what the Lord said, but we didn't do that. If you read the book of Judges, we didn't do that. We did the complete opposite of what the Lord told us, right? But keep going.
Nor show mercy unto them.
No mercy. Watch.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
What?
Neither shall thou make
The
marriages
Lord
with them.
said, don't marry them. Don't give your sons to them. Don't give your daughters to them. And you don't take their sons or their daughters. Why would the Lord tell us that? If he's such a all-inclusive, everybody can open up the floodgates and come in and get the kingdom of heaven now. Right? See, they don't know God. They know Christianity, which is a lie. They don't know the Bible. The Bible does not support Christianity. I promise you. None of the concepts that you teach in Christianity it's not in these scriptures whatsoever, right? Read.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Mm-hmm.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son,
Mm-hmm.
nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Mm-hmm.
For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
Remember we read earlier, the wicked seduce it? The wicked got some way of seducing us? Yeah. That's why the Lord said don't do that, because the wicked are going to seduce us into going away from our God, and somehow we end up following Krishna. Somehow we bowing down to Allah. Somehow we got a Caesar Borgia in our house. Somehow we bowing down to Virgin Mary. And we're doing this when we listen to the heathens. Don't need none of that when we got the scriptures. We don't need none of that madness, right? But when we listen to the heathen, we get enticed, right? Read.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you,
Mm-hmm.
and destroy thee suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars.
Ooh, the Lord said destroy. What's another word for destroy? Yeah, wipe out. I mean, wiped out. I mean, it was there and it's not there no more. All right, read.
And thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
So the Lord said, burn all their idols. All right, that's why you see a video going around with me and Ratazan when we was a little radical, we was a little younger and crazy. We burned the American flag, man. You know what I'm saying? We burned it. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We burned it, but we had a little, we was wise about it. We talked about why we did it. We weren't just crazy with it. But nevertheless, you know what I mean? We understand the scriptures. We're supposed to burn all the idols, the flag, the white Jesus, the Krishna, the Allah, the Pan-African, the Egyptologist, the Pharaoh. We burn all that madness, man. Thus said the Lord. Right? Because the Lord said that what's the greatest commandment? Serve me. And only me. I'm a jealous God. I don't want to share y'all with no other nations. All right? All right, read.
Verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Absolutely. Your sister said Buddha. Yeah, burn Buddha too. You know what I'm saying? Burn Buddha too. All of them. Right? But the reason being because we're special people. Right? The Lord said, he said we're special, and then he said we're above all people, right? On the face of the earth. So that's why. That's the reason why. That's why he told us to burn the groves, burn the images, burn all their idols, burn all their gods, and take the land and take their money and take the spoil. You know what I'm saying? Because that money and all that stuff in that land belong to y'all anyways. It was given to y'all all the way back to the time of Adam. Remember, Adam was the king of the earth. Where's the Fertile Crescent? In Israel. Jerusalem is the cradle of civilization. There's no denying it at this point. Right? Every scholar would concur that Israel, Jerusalem, is the cradle of civilization. That's where the garden started. That's where we come from, right? So the Lord is saying he gave our forefather, which is Adam, dominion over that whole entire area. So every area over there is ours. Saudi Arabia, that's ours. Israel, that's ours. Egypt, that's ours. Ethiopia, that's ours. Iraq, that's ours. North of Iraq, that's ours. The whole world, if you want to keep it a buck. But that's a land that he specifically gave us, though, to be governed over, right? But the earth is made for Israel. You want to keep it a buck. Drop that. So because we holy people, right? So look, so marry among your nation, okay? Now in the subsection, we're gonna stay in section 1, subsection. Y'all can subtitle this A, maybe, A. You can subtitle it A. Make sure that you're marriageable age. Here's our marriageable age, right? Give me Tobit 1 and 9. Okay. Yeah, they brought that out, that second Ezra. Absolutely. Yeah, that's him. That's the one right here. Yeah. He made the world for our sake, man. Beautiful precept, brother. Beautiful. Bring that out.
The book of Tobit, chapter 1, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man, I married Anna of mine own.
Did you catch that, big bro? When I come into a certain age, all right, this ain't what is it called? They damn religion? Allah. This ain't Islam. Slaki, I forgot. This ain't Islam, man. You know, Islam, let me show you about y'all. Let me show you about these people in Islam, right? This is the narration of Aisha. Aisha is one of the wives of the so-called Prophet Muhammad. This is a direct quote in the hadith, as they say, right? From one of his wives. Ain't no running from this, Muslims. Y'all gotta deal with this. Because our Bible say, hey, you gotta come to age. But in your unholy, stinking Quran, let's go ahead and read what it says. It says, the prophet engaged me when I was a girl of 6 years old. Dang. Who in the hell in their right mind would allow their daughters to be engaged at 6 years old? Kalam, how old is your daughter?
About to be 10.
About to be 10. So you mean to tell me right now, our young, beautiful daughter, promise, we're going to go ahead and set her up with a man right now, a grown man at 10 years old? Well, let's subtract 4 years, because that's what they did in Islam. That's what they did in Islam. Lord in Christ, right? It says, when we met at the Medina and stayed at home of Banayal Harith Ban Hazara, I hope I said it right. Then I got ill and my hair fell down. Later on, my hair grew again, and my mother, Rahman, came to me while I was playing in the swing with some of my girlfriends. She called me and I went to her, not knowing what she wanted me to do. She caught me by the hand and made me stand at the door of the house. I was breathless then, and when my breathing became all right, she took some water and rubbed it on my face and my head with me. Then she took me into the house. There in the house, I saw some Asaris women who said, best wishes and Allah's blessings and good luck. Then she entrusted me to them, and they prepared me for the marriage. Watch this. Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle, which is the Prophet Muhammad, or the so-called Prophet Muhammad, right? Allah's apostle, which is, Muhammad, came to me in the forenoon, and my mother handed me over to him. At the time, I was a girl of 9 years old. Right? You see what we see? You see what Islam dealing with? Pedophilia. So if you're in Islam, you're a pedophile, or you're a pedophile lover. Read that. Go ahead.
It's the pedophile.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pedophile religion. And you can't run from this because this is one of your prophet's wives. This is what she said. She was 9 years old when she got married to that man. A 9-year-old? Are we serious? It's Parah, she just turned 9, right? That's like a grown-ass man marrying Parah right now. This is what Islam said is okay. So we have an age requirement, okay? All right, that's why the Bible is perfect. All these other religions is the devil. All right. Drop that. Give me Genesis 38 and 11. Genesis 38 and 11. Yeah, sick, absolutely. Very, very sick, disgusting. But you got our brothers that swear up and down Allah is the way to go. Right? Swear up and down Allah, but your prophet said it was okay to marry 9-year-olds. All right. Genesis 38 and 11.
The book of Genesis, chapter 38, verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown.
To my what?
To my son be grown.
So another context clue in scripture that if y'all don't know the story with Judah and Tamar, Tamar was promised his son, and he died. So she wanted to raise up seed from one of his sons. You know what I mean? Because when the son died, then you got to pass it to the next son to raise up seed and progeny with the son that died. So she was waiting. She was like, okay, you got one more son left. Can I marry him? But what did Judah tell her? Read it again. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house.
Hold up. Remain a widow. Go back to your father's house. I know my son died. Remain a widow at your father's house. Go back to your father's house. Read.
Till Shelah, my son.
So my youngest son, what?
Be grown.
Be grown. Because we got an age requirement. We don't deal with pedophiles in here. Y'all see that? Numbers 1 and 45. Drop that out. Numbers 1 and 45. So y'all see the unholy Quran, man. Brothers don't even have a Quran when we be out there. Where's your Quran at? Let's talk about your Quran. Let's crack it open. Where your hadiths? Let's bring that out. Right, the narrations. Let's bring that out, man. These are the wise sayings of the so-called Prophet Muhammad. Well, let's talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. All right. Numbers 1 and 45.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 45. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel.
So I use this scripture when I rightly divide the word as a precept to kind of say 19, 20 is the age where you can kind of start getting married. You know what I'm saying? Because 20 was when you were able to go to war and you can make decisions independent of your parents. You don't need your parents' permission at this point. I mean, you still need your parents' permission, but you can go to war. You can die. So that in the eyes of the Most High God, you're grown and you can die. Right? Like anybody younger than that, they couldn't go to war. So this is kind of like, I'll say the parameter. I'll say 20 years old is a good age for our sisters. In Iowa, I did a little study back then. They say everybody in Iowa, they get married around like 20, 21. Everybody in the town. It's a small little town in Iowa. Everybody get married about 20, 21. Well, in California, right? We're one of the bigger cities. Everybody is foregoing marriage, trying to get to the money, right? Our sisters trying to get to the money, trying to get their careers up and all that. In Iowa, everybody's being married by the time they're 21, 22. When you're 25 and you ain't married, they looking at you like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? Is something wrong with you? Why you ain't found a husband yet? But it's strange to us, right? What they tell them? What they tell our girls now? Why are you so young?
Live your best life.
What does that mean? Can somebody tell me what that means? What the hell? So what you're encouraging your young beautiful princess to go out there and get ran through in the neighborhood? What are you telling them? What does that mean? Live your best life. That's exactly what they're telling our daughters, right? Am I lying, Makazar? That's go to college and sleep around. That's big translation. That's what it means to live your best life. And then maybe you can find Prince Charming when you're 30 in your career. How much sense that make? No, you're supposed to save your virginity to your king, and only him's supposed to know about that. Nobody else. That's what a trophy is. Y'all familiar with trophy wife? Y'all heard of that before? Okay, why is it a trophy wife? Anybody want to take a Jess? Go ahead, Jason. Give him the mic.
Because
Speak to the mic. Speak to the mic.
because what the wife has is not accessible to everyone. It's only like a specific person that is able to.
Beautiful. That's exactly what it is. How many people can hold up the Super Bowl trophy at the end of the year? One team. That's why it's so valuable. Translation, right? When a man says a trophy wife, he wants to be like, I'm the only one that got her. Nobody else can say they had her. She only connected to me. As a result, her value goes up in the eyes of him and his peers. He's like, hey man, that's facts. Nobody else can say they had her. Right? It's embarrassing if you bring your woman in the room and everybody had her. It's an embarrassing thing. Everybody looking at you like you the sucker. It's a bad thing to do. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we reverse the curses. I know our brothers and sisters in folly and wickedness, we don't know who we are. So we want to reverse that and we want to get back to righteousness. Okay. So that's it on step one. All right. Step one. Anybody got questions? That's it on step one. Okay. Step two, parents' permission. You got to get your parents' permission. Okay. Cannot circumvent the parents. Genesis 29:15. Genesis chapter 29, verse 15.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught?
Uh-huh.
Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
Uh-huh.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger
So
daughter.
y'all see what happened? Our forefather Jacob, one of the progenitors of our nation, he said, look, he went to Laban and he was like, look, I like your daughter. You know what I'm saying? I like Rachel. Like, what's up? Can I marry her? Like, what's good? What can we do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, did she promise to somebody? Like, what's up? But the point of me bringing this out is to show you that he asked the father. He didn't try to go around the father and sleep with the woman without her father in the picture, right? This is an honorable man, right? And watch what Laban told him. Read.
Verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me.
That's cool. I'm glad you did come to me, man, because you know what? It's better that I give her to you than somebody else. Why would I give her away to somebody else? I know you. I know your family. Y'all pretty good people. That's fine. But, there was agreement in place too, right? Y'all see that? So that's a subsection, right? Parents' permission, as the sister brought out earlier, Diana, contract or covenant. Parents' permission, once you get the parents' permission, then there's an agreement established. The father, that's up to him and his discretion, whatever he wants. In this case, the brother said, you got to serve my daughter. You got to serve 7 years. All right? He served 7 years. It was cool. Watch this. Read verse 20.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to
He was
her.
in love with her. So he said, all right, for sure. Deal. Y'all see that? So you got parents' permission, and then you have a subsection where there's an agreement in place. This is where now we in folly we kind of change the whole narrative now. Where you get the old little ring, engagement ring, you get on one knee, and you ask the father, "Can I marry your daughter?" Right? No, it wasn't. Whatever the father said, you can work off it. Whatever it's up to the father's discretion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he want to see you. Can you fight? Can you shoot? You know what I'm saying? What kind of money you got? Whatever the father's discretion is, y'all go ahead and figure that out. But the point I'm making is you can't circumvent the parents. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you get that woman's father involved. And then there's an agreement placed in. Let's get another example. Let's get Tobit 7 and 9. Book of Tobit in your Apocryphas, chapter 7, verse 9. Read that.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
So he communicated the matter with Ragael.
Mhm.
Ragael said to Tobias, eat and drink and make merry, for it is meet that thou shouldest marry my daughter.
See, so so Ragiel was trying to marry his daughter to Tobias, right? Which is Tobias' son. Let's see what he said.
Nevertheless, I will declare to thee the truth. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men, who died that night they came in unto her.
She had an evil spell on her vagina at this time. You know what I'm saying? So every time a man entered, they would die that night, right? So it was 7 men that died. Every time they went into her, they died. They didn't wake up. But watch this.
Nevertheless, for the present be merry. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one to another.
It's cool you trying to give me your daughter, but let's have this agreement in place. He said, I'm not going to eat nothing. I'm not going to celebrate or do none of that until we get some stipulations and some terms and some agreements in place. So y'all see that? Parents' permission, then there's agreements. All right. Sexy word for agreement, covenant. There's a covenant established, right? That's it on that? Was that verse 11?
Yeah.
Okay, drop that. All right, so give me Exodus 22 and 16. I want to share something with y'all, right? So y'all see these are 2 examples of arranged marriages, right? And they were very successful in their quest. I want to get another example. I want to read a statistic to y'all real quick. Let me share my screen for the family online so they can follow along. I want to get this statistic right here. Salakia. So it says right here, look, in the little highlighted area, it says in the U.S., while the divorce rates hover over 40 and 50%, the divorce rates for arranged marriages is 4%. In India, where some estimated that 90% of marriages are arranged, the divorce rate is only 1%. So let's unravel this, right? Because we come from arranged marriages, arranged style marriages, where the father would get together with another father and then they'll hook their daughter and son up, right? I know that might sound strange and taboo to us over here now, but it works. Said in America, 50% of people divorce. In our community, I didn't get the article. It says 70%. So let's go with the extreme number. Let's go with the low number and let's go with the extreme number. So that means out of 1,000 marriages, you got 500 to 700 gonna fail and end in divorce. In India, right, those same 1,000 marriages is only gonna be 100 of them. Did I catch that? Or did I get the wrong? No, 10. 10. I got it wrong. It's Salakia. I did 10%. It said 1%, right? So look, let's repackage this, man. My math was off. Out of 1,000 marriages in America, 500 to 700 are going to end in divorce. In India, 1,000 marriages, 10 of them are going to end in divorce. But it's arranged. So who's really working? Because they still keep the customs of the scriptures, right? Remember, that's the area we're from. We in that area, that jurisdiction. They still have the, remember we were scattered over there. We went into the Persian and Mede captivity. So a lot of those people, when you read in the book of Esther, they wanted to be Jews. They kept the Jewish customs. You see what I'm saying? So they see like, hey, that's some wise and understanding people. We're going to adopt their religion. We're going to adopt their ideology for our own. We're going to take what we like from them. Y'all see that? So what is the Bible is telling you, not the Bible, but the Bible too, but what statistics is saying is that you're more likely to end in divorce with an American westernized style of marriage. And you're more likely to have success with a biblical based marriage. Even though it might be taboo and it's not normal in our culture, it works. You see that? Hopefully y'all hearing me, man. Numbers don't lie, man. Give me that Exodus 22 and 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lay with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So what the Lord is saying right here, he said, if a man spit game to a young woman that doesn't belong to somebody, right, and he have sex with her, right, he enters into her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. What does the word endow mean? Namanawath.
He shall surely do it. Like he ain't got no choice. He gotta be all in.
No. Kind of, but no. What does the word endow mean? You're on the right track. Okay. Go more to it. Give it to Linda. See what Linda said.
To dress her up, to have to.
You're right.
To
Get-
bestow something on somebody.
Give me a word. It's word to start with a P. Provide. All right. You were right, but it's a simple word. What the Lord is saying is you have to provide for this woman. If you are going to circumvent the father, right? You're going to ignore the father and disregard the family and see what they say about it. They should have a say-so who their daughter married. But if you're going to go around that and spit your little game and get her to come out of her dress and then you put your rod into her, the Lord said, now you're responsible. There's a change in possession. There's a change in ownership. She leaves her father's house and now she has to go to your house. That's how it works. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. Give her the mic.
I have a question about the arranged marriages.
Uh-huh.
So if two fathers
Talk to the mic so they can hear you.
if two fathers meet up and like arrange for like their children to get married, can either of them say no?
Yes, they can say no. Yeah, they can say no. Yeah, the kids can say no. Yeah, they got to agree. Everybody has to agree. Usually, see, a young girl is going to listen to her father. She's going to understand her father has her best interest at heart. So usually, right, we're destroyed in America. But usually when you go to the Eastern hemisphere of the world, they're going to be like, oh, my dad got me. I'm good. I'm sure he did the checks and balances. I'm good. All I got to do is see if I kind of like, all right, he cool. All right, he got something, it might be something light. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you might not want that son. You might like the brother Jacob. He wanted Rachel. Both of them was pretty, as they said, but he's like, I want the one that's drop dead gorgeous. Give me her. So it'll be something like that. But nevertheless, yeah, you do have a choice. When you read the book of Genesis, the 24th chapter, our foremother Rebecca was being what's the word I want to use? Enticed, almost in a sense. She was not enticed, but kind of like pampered by Abraham and his servants. They gave her earrings, they gave her gold, and they was like, oh, we got a nice, handsome man waiting for you, Isaac. You know what I'm saying? That's your husband. He rich, he gonna hold you down. But when they talked to her father, they was like, do you want to go with these men? Right. So they asked her. And she was like, yeah, I'll go. Let me see what they're talking about. So yeah, absolutely. The woman does have say so. She don't have to do it. But it probably be if your father is checking it up, it probably be in your best interest to follow your father. You know what I'm saying? Your father's not going to lead you in the wrong direction. Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
But if she wants to marry someone and the father says no,
yeah, he has a right to say that too. The father has a right to intercept any agreement that his daughter has. Now, when it get too far though, if she go there and have sex with the man, now it's over with. Bets is off, right? Because we get into that, right? So this is a situation where a brother went around the father, and then he just had sex with the woman, right? Read verse 17.
Verse 17. If her father utterly refused to give her,
because the father can still be like, nah, that's not cool. I don't want you to marry my daughter. 3.
He shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So the brother has to pay punitive damages. Still got to marry her because it's over with at that point. She's defiled. You know what I'm saying? When a man puts his rod into a woman, the woman's defiled. She belongs to that man as long as he lives. So the father can say, no, I don't want you to marry my daughter. I'm not cool with this. So if that's the situation, he's not really welcome into the situation. According to our law, y'all still married, But now the bride or the bridegroom has to pay that family
For damage.
for punitive damages because you just destroyed that household, man. You might have broke that household, man. They might have had something else set out for their daughter. You just messed that all up. But understand, look, the daughter participated too, so she ain't off the hook. This is consensual. Everybody's in agreement. It's not a rape situation. If it was a rape situation, he would get put to death. All right? Go ahead, King. Give him the mic.
I was just reading it. To me, I was reading this, if her father, ever refuses, he shall pay money?
Yeah, the man.
The father?
No,
Oh.
the guy that went around the father.
But they said we're gonna get married anyway.
Yeah, they already married. Yeah, he gotta pay penalty damages to the father household. Go ahead.
So if the father refuses, she's married to him, but he won't allow her to go with him, so she has to stay unmarried the rest of her life.
Nah, they gonna go. They can still go. Yeah, he still go. Yeah, he still gotta go. He just gotta pay punitive damages. It could be a situation. It could be like this. You find out, like, y'all married, you can be happy, like, oh, okay, well, damn, why you didn't tell me? But it's okay. It's all right, baby. Or it could be like, no, I'm cool on that. No, I don't agree with this. You go to the elders, and the elders will make them pay. One of those situations.
But that's still his wife. So
For sure.
She has to go.
He can't put her away. Nah. Let's prove that. Let's get another scripture that's kind of around that. Let's get Deuteronomy 22. Let's get the one in Deuteronomy 22. Give verse 13.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
And she wasn't a virgin, basically, translation. Read.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
The proof of her virginity, which is the sheets, right? Sheets of blood. Read.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he have given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
So this is the blood, this is a hymen in a woman, we call it popping the cherry, right? So she's a virgin, they have sex, you pop the cherry or whatever. And then, the proof of her virginity would be the blood, right? Read.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
Put hands on him for lying on the daughter of Zion. And what?
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver.
And then you got a debt to pay for bringing problems and a tumultuous situation to this man's household, lying on his daughter. Read.
And give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away.
He may not what?
He may not put her away.
Y'all got that? Can't put her away. All right. So he got to still marry her. Still got to marry her. All right. So y'all got that. I know we're going to get through this. All right. We're on step 2. All right. And there was a subsection, which is contract or agreement. All right. So parents' permission, agreement. All right. Parents' permission and agreement. All right. Step 3. Step 3. Proven in courtship. This is the proven in the courtship stage, right? All right. I would recommend when you get to this stage, so you found out they have the nation. You already got the agreements in place with the father. The next thing you should do, well, you should always do, but you really need to do at this point is pray. Give me 1 Thessalonians 5:17. This is the next step you need to be doing. This is the next step you should kind of be focused on. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 17. Pray without ceasing.
You need to be praying. This is the step where you want to be praying and making sure that you're making the best decision, the right decision. The Lord said pray without ceasing. Sun up, sun down. You need to be praying and making sure that this is a good decision, right? Because there's a lot can go wrong in this situation. All right, there's high risk with our sisters, in this situation, because a dude can put on a front and seem like the nice guy, and then you turn out and he a lion in his house. All right, so this is why you want to make sure you're praying without ceasing. You want to make sure you know his family. You want to make sure that you kind of investigate and improve in his brother. Give me prove a friend. Give me Sirach 6 and 7.
Book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
So if you're going to get a friend or a marriage partner, you got to prove them. There's a proving stage that has to happen, right? We so quick, we're in this microwave market, or this era, I like to say, right, where everything is so quick and instantaneous, right? Quick. Got to get it right now, right? But you just seen our forefather, Jacob, he waited 7 years for his wife. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to do that, but damn, like, did you get to know the sister?
14.
You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, two, right? But can you get to know the sister? She just came in. Sister beautiful. Okay, that's cool. But let her learn. Let her get a little acclimated. Let her get some feast days under her belt. You know what I'm saying? If you like her, okay, we can probably arrange something. Me and Rods try to figure it out for y'all behind the doors, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But let's take our time with it, because you don't know the person. Person can be putting on the front. Makazat, right? Makazat been living, you know. You ain't no young boy. Brother can put on the front. You ain't never seen this person mad. You don't know how they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said, pray without ceasing. Make sure the situation is good, right? Prove a friend, right, Reed?
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
And some people got finesse, man. Some people are very tricky and slithering. You know what I'm saying? Some people are very tricky and slithering. They know how to say the right things at the right time. He's only a friend when it's advantageous and beneficial to him. He's not a friend when it's all bad. You want to look for that, right? You got to make sure, is this person sincere, or this person is just here for a couple days? A little season? Are they really here? Right? Very, very important. Drop that. Give me Sirach. Stay in Sirach. Give me 7 and 25.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
A what?
A weighty matter.
Why would it say that? Anybody want to take a guess? No.
Not a light thing.
Yeah, bring it out, big bro. Pass the mic to him. Expound on that. Tazawar. Bring it out.
It's not a light thing.
Bring
It's
it.
a heavy duty.
It's a heavy duty, man. Because look, man, we gotta get this right. We gotta make sure we get this right, because it ain't no turning back at this point. Once the man and woman lay down, hey, all bets are off at that point. If we're gonna do it the righteous way. I know we was in ignorance, we did a whole lot of stuff in the world that we didn't know nothing about. But we become new in Christ, right? Right? We get a new slate in Christ Jesus, Yahushua, right? So as a result, we're able to do this thing the right way now, biblically. So I'm teaching y'all the biblical principles, not the worldly principles, all right? So read that again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding.
Make sure you give her to a man that's understanding, that's about these laws, that love the Most High God, that fear God, right? They got his mind right. They got his act together, right? Not because he's Prince Charming or he's Macho Man. He got muscles and he look cute. I mean, hey, that's, you can have that. That's cool, but that's carnal. You know what I'm saying? We need more than that. If we talk about marriage, right? Nothing wrong to be attracted to the person. You can be attractive. There's nothing wrong with that. But just don't let that be the only thing. A lot of times, that's the only decision we make. I know in the world, that was my sole decision. Sir, she's bad, my nigga. That's it. I don't know how she is. I don't know about her family. I ain't asked all that. I didn't care about that. My nigga, she was bad. That's all I cared about. Yes, sir. We gotta make sure that we. Let me show you something. Give me that. Give me that. Oh yeah, next verse. Next verse.
Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light
You
woman.
know what I'm saying? So this is for the man. So this is wisdom to the man. If you're gonna get you a wife, make sure she on the same type of time as you. You see what I tell you, Raya? Same people. She about God, he about God. You know what I'm saying? It works. How you gonna be about God and your wife not? That's a headache. You need to, I gotta go keep Passover. I gotta take off all the leaven in my house, but you don't care about Passover. How this gonna work? This is gonna be friction. That's why the Lord said, look, make sure she, hey, look, first and foremost, get you a wife of understanding and she on the same page as you. Right? Yeah, we read the same book, but we on the same page, not different pages. You know, the monowaf, right? You know what I'm talking about. We read the same book, but we ain't getting the same understanding. How the hell that? How, no, we can't do that. How we reading the same pages? But you getting a total different understanding. That means she ain't for you, King. That means she ain't for you. Because we need to be able to read the same thing. We need to be able to, you know, we're raising our children together. We're talking about a legacy we about to build. We need to be on the same type of time. Does that mean you're gonna have disagreements? It's normal, right? Good dog's normal, right? Yeah. You still love your wife. I mean, you have disagreements. I disagree with my wife all the time, but it's still cool. But we, you know, the basis of our relationship is this, though. We got a disagreement. Let's go to the Bible. Let's see what the Lord say, baby. See what the Lord say. Get your hair covered. Let's go into these scriptures. Let's see what it said. I could be wrong. Let me see if the Lord gonna humble me or he gonna humble you. But how we gonna do that if we ain't on the same page?
She won't even look.
She's like, yeah, like what? Bible? Look, mister, I'm not trying to hear all that Bible stuff right now. Seriously. That Bible stuff, I'm not trying to hear all that religious stuff right now, mister. All right. Drop that. Give me that stumble at the beauty of a woman. What's that? Sirach 25 and 21? Yeah. It's another one, right? You don't want to make sure you make your sole decision on a woman just being beautiful or a man just being handsome. Okay.
Book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure.
For both y'all. So this is for men and women. Don't stumble at somebody that's overly attractive. You can have that. That's cool. But it said, don't let that be the only reason why you're trying to pursue this person. And then he said in the second part, choose them not for pleasure. Because having sex is very pleasurable. But that shouldn't be the only reason why you're making a big decision in your life. The biggest decision you're gonna make in your life. Who you're gonna reproduce your kids with? You wanna decide that on pleasure? You sure you want to do that? It's a lot of horror stories. All right, look, folly, but I'm walk with me. Proof point. You have what is it? The porn stars, right? Porn stars. Do they mate with other porn stars? It's pleasurable for them, right? Some of them is work, but a lot of them is pleasurable. Do they mate with other porn stars? Yes or no? They do not. No, they do not. Because they understand, like, even though this is pleasurable, I'm not gonna raise a family with this person. This is a different type of situation. Right? So the Lord is telling you, look, you could be attracted to your woman, you could be attracted to your husband to be your prince charming, that's all cool. But do not choose this man or this woman based on looks alone. That is you're asking for problems if you do that. That is problematic. It needs to be some other substance and value along with the looks. All right. Let's get Sirach 42 and 9. Sirach 42 and 9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
So the father wakes up for his daughter when no man knows, and the care for her take away sleep. All brothers that got daughters in here, raise your hand. Is this statement true? All right. Read.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated.
Ooh, y'all caught that? I don't know if y'all caught that. It said there comes a time when she passed away, the flower of her age. That means she becomes an adult, right? She becomes at an age where she's not a little kid no more. She's a grown woman now. And then what?
And being married,
Then she get married and what?
lest she should be hated.
And then the dude hates her. That's the worst thing, to give your daughter to the wrong man. That's why we got to make sure we get this right. This is a collective effort. It's a family business. We all involved. We all check. Hey, y'all seen that brother? What kind of, y'all got his number? What do he do? Gotta ask these questions. Is this brother sincere? Y'all know him? Y'all seen him outside of this? Invite him to the house. Let's pick his brain. We're not gonna just marry our daughter to this brother because he came in here, Prince Charming, honks. He got his little Ferragamo fringes. We don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure that you a real dude, man. We need to find out, is this dude sincere or not, man? Is he really about the Most High? Or he just trying to be here for a couple seasons, right? So the Lord said, hey, the care of your daughter take away sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's a cease. I mean, it's like one of those situations where you don't know because you give it to it's like you can't really come back to daddy house. And if you do come back to daddy house, you can't get married no more. You got to be celibate for the rest of your life. Who wants that? That's a terrible life for a woman. When the whole reason a woman was created was to reproduce and to build up her king. That's why women are created. Right? So it'll be a terrible life for a woman to get married and then the dude is not cool and then she can't get married no more. She has to stay home stressed out. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure we get this right. That's what the scripture is saying. Drop that. Give me Sirach 37 and 12.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
And all y'all sisters write that scripture down. Screenshot it, save it. Sisters online, sisters in here. The Lord said, look, I know you beautiful daughters of Zion want a husband. That's fine. If you're going to be with a husband, you're going to be a man. This is the prerequisite. If he doesn't have this, he's disqualified. It's not Iram speaking, as we said earlier. This is thus said the Lord. Read it again, King.
But be continually with a godly man.
The one that what?
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments
How
of the
you
Lord.
know him and you only seen him for 2 weeks? How you know him? You thought you knew him. You didn't know him. He was putting on the front for them 2 weeks. He was Rico Suave for them 2 weeks. You didn't know he had 5 baby mamas. You didn't know he didn't take care of his kids. You didn't know she a runaway bride. She been camp hopping. She with HOI. She with True Nation. She with Believers of the Way. She with Sons of Success. She with IUIC. Blase, this and that. You didn't know that, right? Right? That's why the Lord said, be continuing with a godly man or woman. And you know that they keep the commandments. That's the prerequisite. Because you can't fake that, big bro. These commandments are something you can't fake. Passover, can't fake it. You can put on the fringes and wear beards, but you can't fake these commandments. Somebody that's sincere about these commandments, they build different. You know what I'm saying? That means the Lord crafted them in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that ain't breaking Sabbath, somebody that's sincere, somebody that's doing a behind the scenes work. Y'all know how much work we doing behind the scenes, brothers, for this Passover, right? Can't fake that. Right? Getting things in order, all of the hours on the phone. I appreciate the brothers. Man, brothers was on the phone, taking tests. You can't fake that. That's sincere. That's somebody that's serious. That's why the Lord said, you got to know that they're about this work. This needs to be the prerequisite for our sisters and our brothers. If this is not the prerequisite for our sisters and brothers, I don't know what to tell you. You're asking yourself for a problematic situation if you want to circumvent the wisdom and the advice and ignore the advice of the Father. All right? I didn't write this. I'm just delivering it to you. All right? Read it again.
But be continually with a godly man,
Uh-huh.
whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee, and thou shalt miscarry.
And that's a good one. Y'all see that? You don't want a man that's gonna talk crazy to you and talk down to you if you're in a situation where you down and out. It's not necessarily when you lost a baby. It's just saying you in a situation where you're down and out. He needs to be balanced. He needs to be a leader, but he needs to know, like, oh, my wife in distress right now. Let me go ahead and hug her. Let me give her a kiss. Let me caress her. Let me make her feel like a woman. He needs to have the balance, because a false balance is a what? Right? Some man is too damn hard. Like, damn, man, hold on, man. She needs a hug right now, brother. She's going through something right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Got to have that balance. Got to know how to, all right, look, man. There's a work Iran, right? And then there's a husband Iran. You know what I'm saying? This work, I'm serious. Hey, babe, I need you to do this and do this. And then there's like, you good, babe? You straight? Matter of fact, I'll rub your feet today. It's good. You know what I'm saying? You've been raising my daughter. You've been having a good day. Chill out, man. Just relax. You don't got to cook nothing with you. I'll buy something. Relax. I appreciate your duties and the things that you've done. You got to have that balance. You got to have a guy that's on that type of time, and it's not just all, you know, man, just a drill sergeant. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you got a guy that has that balance. But how you going to know him? How you going to know that if you don't know the man? You talking about marrying him in 2 weeks. How many brothers and sisters we know and been married and they just met each other? Then they want me and Rata to fix their marriage. What you want me to do? You look. I gave you the details of how this thing's supposed to work. It took a little bit of time, but now that you guys decided to ignore and disregard the wisdom of the counselors, right, which is anointed by God, He set us up here, right? The Lord put us in this position. This brother's young as hell. You know it got to be the Lord to put him in this position, right? So. Brother, know the scriptures. So it'll be in your best interest to come inquire and get the proper steps and the stipulations and the guidelines, right? That's necessary for something as big as marriage. Because you can't turn away from this. It's not the world. In the world, we can have sex and then it's cool. I don't like her no more. I'm cool on her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nah, there ain't no testing over here. We don't test drive. You know what I'm saying? You can't test drive and then put it back in the lot. You gotta understand the analogy. You know, that's not how this works. You take it off the car lot, it's yours. Simple. Drop that. Is that it on that? All right, drop that. Give me let's see. Give me y'all can write down Judges 15:2. We're not gonna go there for the sake of time. Judges 15:2. Give me Tobit 10:12, and then we're gonna read Sirach 4:30.
The book of Tobit, chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, the Lord of heaven restore thee, my dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children of my daughter Sarah before I die, that I may rejoice before the Lord. Behold, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust. Wherefore do not entreat her evil.
Do not what?
Do not entreat her evil.
So this is Edna, right? The mother-in-law talking to the bridegroom, talking to her son-in-law. He's like, look, I'm giving you the stamp of approval. You cool? You can marry my daughter. Look, make sure I see my grandbabies and don't do my daughter dirty. Please don't do my daughter dirty. Because it's a real thing. I know that. It's a real thing. You got some wicked niggas out here, man. Right? Got some wicked Negroes, man. All of a sudden, they just get an attitude. They switch up. They not who they used to be no more. It can happen. I seen it. I seen it. It was, in love, lovey-dovey land, and then it went all bad. Something went wrong. It's like, I didn't see this side of the brother. That's because you didn't give it enough time. You rushed it. But nevertheless, you see in this situation, right, where the mother-in-law is talking to her son-in-law, and she like, look, read that little last part again.
It says, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust. Wherefore do not entreat her evil.
Please don't do my daughter wrong. I'm giving you my blessings. Make sure I see my grandbabies when y'all have them. And please don't do my daughter dirty. Right? So we got to make sure that we follow in these protocols and in these instructions. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we see our forefathers do, we just copy and paste. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to call a different play. We just stick to the script. That's what we say, right? Drop that. Give me Sirach 4:30.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants.
You got to make sure, brothers, that you're not a lion in your house. What is a lion in your house? Anybody want to take a guess on what that means?
Like the tyrant?
Yeah, I like that. Tyrant, that's a good word. Break down a tyrant. What is a tyrant?
Tyrant would be just absolute ruler of authority, just my way or the highway, just
Hard to be around, right?
hard to be around.
Hard to be around, right? Yeah. You don't want to be like that. Sometimes, brother can be hard to be around, especially when you feel like you're right. But you don't want to be a lion. You don't want to be disrespectful. You don't want to be aggressive. You want to make sure that you're cool. Keep your temper kind of mild. You don't want to explode. That's what it's going into. You don't want to get to the point where y'all getting physical with each other. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord said, don't be a lion in your household. And your servants, make sure that you're cool with your servants. Because when you're cool with your servants, they're going to want to work harder for you. You don't want to have a situation when they hate you. They planning on killing you. Right? So you don't want to have that type of situation. The Lord is giving us wisdom on how to conduct ourselves, right? Drop that. Give me Sirach 36 and 24. So we still on step 3. Proven courtship, because this is one of the most important steps right here. All of them are important, but this is the one where you kind of got to before we finish this thing, we got to make sure we're making the right decision. Right? Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
A what?
A pillar of rest.
So a possession. Sisters, y'all got to ask yourself the question, what type of possession are you? Are you an asset or your liability? Which type of possession are you? If you don't know what that means, an asset is something that adds value. A liability is something that takes away. So are you going to add to your father's house or your husband's house?
Disconnected.
Or are you going to take away? I don't know. Did it go off?
Might check.
No, we still good. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to add to your father's kingdom or are you going to take away? Which one are you going to do? These are the questions that you got to ask. I hope the live stream didn't cut off. We still good? Okay, con. Let's disconnect. That was crazy, right? We did it again, huh? Threw me off a little bit. Oh, somebody's phone. Okay.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
What is rest? Peace. You want to be peace to your husband. You want to be peace to your nation. You want to make sure when your husband's home, it's peaceful. There's no arguing. There's no bickering. There's no back and forth. There's no little issues that's being blown out of proportion. You want to make sure that you're being peaceful. You're not being problematic. You're not argumentative. Those are qualities you want to get rid of. If you have those, work on yourself. This is the time where you want to work on yourself. Right? Brothers too. If you somebody that's a little hot and tempted, you might want to start working on yourself, man. That's what the counsel is for. Working on our anger, working on our understanding. Being able to have conversations with brothers and sisters, or with your significant other in a way where it don't get blown out of proportion. You might get mad at the person. That's normal. That's gonna happen. Matter of fact, for sure. Scriptures say that. Y'all ain't gonna agree. And marriage is hard, but it's beautiful if you love each other. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful struggle. I'll say that. All right. Drop that We covered everything. Y'all can write down Deuteronomy 22 and 13 to 21. I'm not gonna go there. I think we went there earlier. So third step, y'all see that? Proven in courtship. You got to prove the person. You got to make sure the person is sincere, and this take time. This is all up to the father's discretion. But it's a family decision. It's collective. The family come together and make the decision together. All right. Fourth and final step. This is consummation and wedding. What does the word consummation mean? Anybody want to define it? I like that. Official. How do you make it official? Somebody. Okay, give it a thing. Mike.
Could you repeat what you just said for number 4?
Number 4, consummation and wedding. Consummation and wedding. Okay. So my sister Janae, she said make official. I like that. How do you make some official? Marriage official.
Marriage.
Yeah.
You have sex.
Beautiful. That's the final one. All right. Consummation. The word means to consummate. It says complete by having sexual intercourse. What does the word complete mean? It's finished. All right. It's over at that point. Right. So I gave y'all the steps, but what we like to do is we want to consummate and then figure everything else out. You know what I'm saying? We want to get to the pleasure first. I gotta see what it's like. Right? Men say, women too. I gotta see what it's like. What if he ain't pumping it right? That's folly. It's folly. You know what I'm saying? We can't look. We gotta look. If we follow all of these steps, the Lord gonna give you a man that's good for you and you're gonna like. You know what I'm saying? But if you choose not to follow these steps, then you're gonna have a world of trouble. I see it all the time. I see all type of horror stories. This is not in the truth no more because they didn't follow this order. All right. Consummation. Right? They wanted to circumvent the order, right? You don't mind? Can I speak on your how long you been courting? Brother, how long it's been?
2.5 years.
Almost 3 years. The brother been courting under the parameters of her father. So the brother, brothers don't know. Brother Lob is courting a sister right now. Beautiful sister, beautiful family. Almost 3 years under the order of her father, right? Father tell y'all what y'all can and can't do, right? And you cool with that? It's cool with that. Look, man, it's gonna have a big. And when y'all had a wedding, we're gonna turn up. We're gonna have a good time. We got a reason to drink and have a good time. But you get what I'm saying? He's doing it biblically. All right? That's how y'all want to do it. We want to do it biblically. You know what I'm saying? And have a good time. And when they go ahead and consummate and finish it, they're gonna have beautiful kids and all that good stuff, man. Hopefully, holy matrimony, long good time. You know what I'm saying? Do it the right way, family. It might take a little bit more time, but it works. It works. Because I've seen people do it the other way. It never works. Out of order, it's like that machine or the arcade game to say out of order. It don't work. Can't do that with that. You can't put no nickels in there. It don't work. All right, so consummation. We read this earlier, Exodus 22 and 16. Y'all don't gotta go there. Y'all can write that down. That's the consummation when you have sex, right? Let's get another scripture to prove that. Deuteronomy 21 and 13. Deuteronomy 21 and 13.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 13. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity far off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Y'all see that? You can go in unto her, and then she's going to be your husband, or you're going to be her husband, and she's going to be your wife. That's the completion. The sex is the final product. It's done at that point. There's it's nothing I can do after y'all have sex. That's why I advise y'all to talk to Ratazan and I now. If it's something you consider doing, it's cool. We'll figure it out. We'll try to figure out a plan for y'all based on the scriptures. Try to give y'all our advice. If we don't know it, we go to the elders. They'll give us some advice. But if you choose to ignore that, which is totally up to you, I wouldn't recommend you do that. And you decide to be grown, right, and try to do it yourself, ain't no turning back at that point. You know, if we'll put it like this, we have a bylaw in BOW that we suggest that all members kind of wait 6 months. Is 6 months a long time? Not really long, right? 6 months, sister come in, you like her, whatever. She's single. Wait about 6 months. You know what I mean? Y'all can get to know each other. Maybe, you know, let her or him get acclimated. And then maybe we can start talking about terms and conditionings and try to figure it out for y'all. You know what I mean? But if you choose to go around that and y'all consummate, now we're going to make y'all hold true to these scriptures. What's going to happen if you go around that? You're getting suspended until y'all married. What does the man got to do? He has to have an endowment. What is an endowment? He has to provide for that woman. Now he has to go get a house. He has to go get a home. He can't be in mommy house no more. Daddy house no more. You got to go get his home. You got to make sure he got some income. You got to make sure that he brings that woman that he lay with into his house, and now they becoming a unit. If they decide not to do that, then what is it? Fornication. And that's worse. You don't want to be a fornicator because the Lord don't deal with fornicators. He said, marriage is honorable. Let's get that. Hebrews 13:4. Mama Milka said 2 years, man. She said, nah, 2 years, man. 6 months is too short. 2 years, man. 6 months is reasonable, for sure. That's what's up. 6 months, I think so too. I thought so too. It's pretty reasonable. I don't want to put time on love because, you know, love, you can fall in love at first sight. I'm just saying get the order right. Get the order right. The difference between the biblical side of things and us is that they knew each other. They knew each other's family. So when Isaac and Rebekah laid down when they first met, it's because they already knew each other's family. And it was a whole little proving stage with the servants of Abraham. She didn't just leave off the rip. They had to entice her a little bit. They had to give her some jury. They had to let her know, like, he a king, he a baron. You're gonna be in a good situation. They stayed a couple nights, right? It was a process. A lot of people are like, no, well, Isaac and Rebekah, when they first met, they got it all. But no, y'all ignore the beginning of that chapter. When they was there, they was trying to convince her. They gave her some earrings. They gave her some diamonds. They was like, look, man, we got a nice little Prince Charming. He's gonna take care of you. He's gonna be a good brother for you. You know what I mean? Can you come home? She was like, well, you got to talk to my dad and my brother. Get the step approved from them. So it was a process. Read that, King. My bad.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So the Lord said he's going to judge fornicators. All right. Whoremongers is dudes that like to chase hoes. He's going to judge you. Adulterers, women who are married who like to sleep around their husband. And the judge is death. All right. That's the judgment. Lake of fire. All right. So I don't want that to happen to y'all. So it's important that we follow the scriptures. That way we safe, right? There's safety and comfort in the scriptures. There's safety in your life right now, right? You're going to have benefits now. Then you're going to have benefits in the future. The future is what? The kingdom, right? But right now, you're going to be protected. This is why the scriptures are so important, because it's like it's a gift that keeps on giving. Like you get immediate perks right away, and then you get a long-term gift, which is the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? You get immediate perks right now, and then you get the long-term perk, which is the kingdom of heaven. You know, being able to reign under Hamashiach, the Son of God. It's a win-win, right? Is that shit on that? Drop that. Give me Genesis 29 and 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 22. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah.
Y'all see what happened? So they had a feast. What is a feast? That was the marriage. Celebration, right? That's the marriage. They had a celebration. That's the marriage right there. They had a little together party. Everybody came in. They had a good little time, right? So before that, I mean, you can do it before or after, right? Which I'm gonna prove. I'm gonna go ahead and read a storyline. We're gonna go through 2 storylines and we'll close it out. We 2 hours in. We almost 2 hours in. Hour and 45 minutes. So let's run it back, and then I'm gonna prove it through the scriptures. Everything I said. First step: marry among your nation. Subsection: they got to be marriageable age. We don't deal with pedophilia in here, right? Step 2: parents' permission. Subsection: agreement, contract, or covenant. Step 3: proven/courtship. Right? Proven. This is one of the ones you want to get right. You want to kind of dissect what you're dealing with, right? And then the final and last complete stage is the consummation in the wedding, the celebration. All right. So let's go ahead and prove this through the Spirit. Let's get Genesis 20:29. Let's get 28 first. Genesis 28, let's read verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. Now Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And God Almighty bless thee and make thee fruitful and multiply thee.
See that? So first step was accomplished right here, right? You see our forefathers getting instruction from his dad. He told them, hey, marry among your nation. Keep your bloodline, right? First step, accomplished right here, right? Watch this. Get chapter 10, read chapter 29, let's read verse 10.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 10. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house.
So just to catch up on the story, so he went to go do what his dad told him. He went to Padan Aram and he met Laban and his family in the household. And he ended up meeting Rachel first, right? And he fell in love with her instantly. Watch this though.
And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said it to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh.
You my blood. See that? We got the same bloodline. We come from the same descendants, right? Read.
And he abode with him the space of a month.
Hey, you can hang out, man. You're my people. I know your father. Why you can stay here for a month? Chill out. Don't worry about it, man. What you need? You need some cookies? What you want? Right? Read.
Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
Because you my what?
Because thou art my brother.
Because you my kin, folks. He like, man, I ain't gonna let you serve me for nothing. What your way? I mean, what we talking, man? How much I gotta pay? Read.
Shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
So Jacob, like, since you asked, right? You said, what's up? All right, well, look, I don't want no wages. How about this? Read.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
There go the parents' permission right there. Y'all see that in this story? Nation, right? They're, of course, marriageable age because they grown at this point. He's traveling by himself. And then right here, you got the parents' permission. Now, watch the agreement get established after this parent permission. So he like, since you asked, I thought you would never ask. But since you asked, what's up with your daughter Rachel? Are we talking about wages? Right? He said, what's up with your daughter Rachel? Right? Read.
And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man.
You know what? I thought you would never ask. You know what? That sounds like a good idea, man. I might as well give her to you. I know your family. Y'all good people. You know what I'm saying? You come from a good stock. I'll give her to you rather than I give her to somebody else, right? Read.
Abide with me.
Hmm?
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seen it to him but a few days for the love he had to her.
That was an agreement. He said, serve 7 years. Okay, cool. Parents' permission, agreement in place. Right? Read.
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
I may consummate and complete it. Right? A lot of us like to skip and go to the consummation, and then we'll figure everything else out. That's not how it works biblically. Biblically, we go like this. We find out they of our nation. You know what I'm saying? We find out their appropriate age. We go to the parents, particularly the father. If there's no father, then we go to the mother and then the brothers or whoever, the uncles. Get somebody. We get a stamp of approval. And then we figure it out. We figure out a little agreement. It's called a diary or dowry. How you say it? Dowry. You know what I'm saying? I always get that wrong. It has to be some type of an agreement in place, right? So in this case, Jacob was like, I'll serve 7 years for your daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'll work off the wages for 7 years, right? Read.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast.
So no, let's have a wedding. It's good. You completed your 7 years. You can marry my daughter. Let's have a wedding, right? Y'all see that? That all the steps was hashed out in this insert. Y'all see that? We got the marriage, the marry. He told him to marry among his nation, marry among his bloodline. There was marriageable age, of course. Got the parents' permission. Got agreement in place. You know, the proving stage was 7 years. So he was sincere. He stayed for 7 years. And then they had the consummation and the wedding. You see that? That's a biblical marriage. That's how you get married biblically, right? Let's get another point. Let's prove another one, right? Let's get Tobit. That's how you give your daughter away or your son away properly. All of the steps are going to be in here, right? Watch this. You can start at verse 11. Tobit 7:11.
Book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 11. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men, who died that night they came in unto her. Nevertheless, for the present be married. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one to another.
For those that don't know what's going on, you got Rachiel, which is the father. You have Tobias, which is the son, the bridegroom to be, right? They talking, they sitting down, they chattering about his daughter. He's like, look, I'll give my daughter to you. Tobias, which is like, oh, that's cool, but look, I ain't finna do nothing. I ain't finna eat or none of that until we have an agreement in place. As the sister brought out earlier, a contract or covenant. Let's get this covenant, let's get it on paper, right? Let's make it official. You want me to marry your daughter? Fine, let's make it official, right? Read.
Verse 12. Raguel said, then take her from henceforth according to the matter, for thou art her cousin, and she is thine.
She your bloodline. You see that? She's from your nation. He talking to the dad. There's an agreement in place. Y'all see that? All of the steps. Read.
And the merciful God give you good success in all things.
Y'all got my blessing. I'm praying to Yahweh give y'all good success in everything y'all do. Have beautiful babies. Hey, you know, go ahead and enjoy life. Y'all got my blessings. All right, read.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses.
The what?
The law of Moses.
So she got her father's permission, and he grabbed her by the hand, and this is how it's supposed to be. It's so spiritual. This is the transformation of a possession from father to what do you always get it wrong? Groom? Is it bridegroom? Groom? What is it? The husband. What do you call it? This is bridegroom, right? Bridegroom. Yeah, I always get that wrong, man. Nevertheless, there's a transformation from father to the husband to be. How about that? Better husband to be. You know what I'm saying? You see that? You see what happened? He took her by the hand and he told the brother, take my daughter after the laws of Moses. Do not forget the laws of God. Right? Read. So this is the proper way you give your daughter away, right? Read.
And lead her away to thy father. And he blessed him and called Edna his wife and took paper and did write an instrument of covenants and sealed it.
So there go the contract. It was sealed. Whatever their little agreement was, the instrument and covenant, it was sealed. It'll be like today, us getting it notarized. You know what I'm saying? We're getting the certificate. You don't necessarily, you can go to Esau to get it. You don't necessarily got to go to Esau to get it. You know, but whatever your terms and agreements are, or term and conditions are, you go ahead and list that in this instrument of covenant, right? And you seal it, and you stick to this agreement, right? Read.
Then they began to eat.
And then they ate, right? Then they ate, and they was like, "We're gonna party, we're gonna have a good time, everything good," right? Read.
After Raguel called his wife Edna and said unto her, Sister, prepare another chamber and bring her thither.
What is this chamber? What is this for? Consummation, right? Now everything. Look, we went through all the steps. Hey, look, they from the same nation. Actually, they from the same tribe. If you want to keep it 100, you read the beginning of the story. They're from the same tribe, right? She's of course marriageable age. Her brother's marriageable age because he traveled by himself. Got his parents' permission. Got an agreement in place, right? The proving stage was him staying. You know what I'm saying, for a couple weeks. You read the rest of this, he had to stay for a couple weeks. But they knew him already. They knew his forefather. They knew his stock. They knew that Tobit, right, which is this book about, was a solid brother. So they know your dad is solid. I know the son got to be solid because you know the apple don't fall too far from the what. You know what I'm saying? So they like, I know your dad is good people. You got to be good people, right? So that was the stamp of approval, right? So he was like, all right, just take her out to the laws of Moses, man. You got my blessing on it. Read.
Verse 17, which when she had done as he had bidden her, she brought her thither, and she went, and she received the tears of her daughter, and said unto her, Be of good comfort, my daughter. The Lord of heaven and earth give thee joy for this thy sorrow. Be of good comfort, my daughter.
You know, she saw him because her daughter about to leave. She's like, man, that's my baby. I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm sad. My daughter's about to get married. You know, it's like you know what I mean? Just like she becoming grown now. It's like so the mom is going through it right now. She's happy for her daughter, but at the same time, she's like, damn, man, my daughter is grown now, right? Read. Chapter 8, verse 1.
Verse 1. And when they had supped, they brought Tobias in unto her. And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and took the ashes of the perfumes, and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith.
Because the sister had an evil spirit. Remember, she laid down with 7 men before, right? And they all died that night, right? Yeah, y'all forgot the early part of that story? Y'all remember? Y'all remember? Okay, cool. All right, so he did this little ritual in this portion to get that evil spirit off of the sister, right? Read.
The witch smell when the evil spirit has smelled. He fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. And after that, they were both shut in together. Tobias rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise, and let us pray that God will have pity on us.
Remember what I told y'all in the courtship process? Pray without ceasing. You see what the brother did? He said, look, before we make this final, let's go ahead and pray. My sister respected her. He's like, my sister, let's go ahead and pray. Praying needs to be the foundation of your relationship. You need to be praying every day and night that you got a good husband and a good wife. Because, hey, bro, what's the cost? It ain't no going back, right? You know, pray without ceasing. Make sure that the Most High really wants you to have this person, right? Read.
Then began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O God of our fathers, and blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever. Let the heavens bless thee, and all thy creatures. Thou madest Adam, and gavest him Eve his wife for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, It is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust.
No, I took her because she bad.
I take not this my sister for lust.
It's about building. Yeah, I might be attracted to her. You see Rachel. You see what happened to Jacob. He seen Rachel and was like, damn, she bad. He's like, God, he said, what did they say? Leah she was well favored, but they said Rachel was, how did they say?
Leah was
tender-eyed. The other one, Leah was tender-eyed, but the other one was, she was something like that, yeah. She was drop dead gorgeous, basically, translation. You know what I'm saying? She probably was everything a man desired, right? But the brother was like, look, I'm not taking you just for lust. You know what I'm saying? Our sisters are beautiful, but we're not taking them just for lust. right? That shouldn't be the only reason why you're trying to pursue this woman, right? Read.
I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly.
What is uprightly? The laws of God. Take her after the laws of God. Take her after the word of God, right? Every single word. That's is Yahweh shall say. We don't deal with certain precepts. We deal with it all, right? We bring them all together and we make it make sense, right? So he says, take not this woman for lust, but take her after the law, after the word. Read.
Therefore, mercifully ordain that we may become aged together.
And we want to have a long marriage, like Tazawar and him and Israel. Long marriage, beautiful progeny. You see the kids, you see the offspring, Deuce and them off in college. That's what you want, right? A long marriage. What do we have now? A couple months, two years. They was goals, right? It was goals on Monday. Now they hate each other on Friday, right? We was goals on Monday, right? We was goals, taking pictures, and now we hate each other on Friday. It was all good a week ago. No, we ain't doing that. Read.
Therefore, mercifully ordained that we became aged together.
Mhm.
And she said with him, Amen. So they slept both that night. And Ragael rose and went and made a grave.
So the daddy thought that he was going to die. He's like, man, go dig this grave, man. It's going to be another body, man. Another one bite the dust. Read.
Saying, I fear lest he also be dead. But when Ragael was coming to his house, he said unto his wife Edna, send one of the maids and let her see whether he be alive. If he be not, that we may bury him, and no man know it. So the maid opened the door and went in and found them both asleep, and came forth and told them that he was alive. Then Ragael praised God and said, O God, thou art worthy to be praised with all pure and holy praise. Therefore let thy saints praise thee with all thy creatures, and let all thy angels and thine elect praise thee forever. Thou art to be praised, for thou hast made me joyful, and that is not come to me which I had suspected, but thou hast dealt with us according to thy great mercy. Thou art to be praised, because thou hast had mercy of two that were the only begotten children of their fathers.
You see that? He had to get this right. He said, look, Toby only had one kid, a son, and Raguel, he only had one kid, a daughter. He's like, man, I'm so happy, man, I was able to give my daughter away to a good man. He's not dead like all the other ones. Everything is good. This got to be the one, right? Yeah, I know the word, the number 7 is what? Number of what? This completed right here. This union is completed now, right? So he happy, he giving praise to the Most High. Watch this.
Grant them mercy, O Lord, and finish their life in health with joy and mercy.
Mhm.
Then Ragael bade his servants to fill the grave, and he kept the wedding feast 14 days.
They had a 14-day wedding. Y'all see that? Y'all think our little weddings is something. They was lit. 14 days. Turned. See that? That's how our forefathers was moving. Had a 14-day wedding, bro. That's man, I probably would have been tired after like the 3rd day. I'd have been tired of dancing. I was like, hey, bro, can I go home? Like, can I go home, bro? Nah, they had a 14-day wedding, bro. It was lit. You know, it's a big thing. You got to think about it. He's like, man, I'm giving my daughter away. The brother is good brother, come from a good stock. He laid down with her. He didn't die like all the other men. This is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? He like, now, I can give her away. I can see my progeny, my seed, all this good stuff. So he happy. He happy for his family, right? Read.
Verse 20. For before the days of the marriage were finished, Ragael had said unto him by an oath that he should not depart till the 14 days of the marriage were expired.
He said, hey, you can't leave until the 14 days is over, though. You know what I'm saying? Let me enjoy this moment. Let me enjoy my daughter. Let me enjoy you. You know what I'm saying? Let me enjoy this little moment. Read.
And then he should take the half of his goods and go in safety to his father, and should have the rest when I and my wife be dead.
You see that? But look, it's a caveat. You stay for these 14 days, I'm gonna give you half of what I own, and when I die, I'm gonna give you the rest. That's what, see, marriage is way more than love. It's about building your nation, becoming a conglomerate, a powerhouse, a legacy. You see that? Every single step that we went over was introduced and covered in this little insert that we read, and there's several other ones, right? Did y'all learn something today? All praise to the Most High, man. If y'all got any questions, y'all can go ahead and give a question. Other than that, that's all I got. No questions? All praise to the Most High, man. How about people on the line? Anybody got questions? Any questions on the lesson today? Any questions on the lesson? So I'll run it back one more time for the people that might have got here late. Marry among your nation, subsection from that, marriageable age. Step 2, parents' permission, subsection, we go ahead and get the agreement in place. Step 3, proven courtship, right? Step 4, consummation wedding, all right? That's how you properly marry your sons and daughters. All praises be to the Most High. All right, family, we're going to end it, man. Shalom to the family online.